You're listening to an iHeart podcast.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Talkspace, the leading virtual therapy provider, is telling everyone, let's face it in therapy. By talking or texting with a supportive, licensed therapist at Talkspace, you can face whatever is holding you back, whether it's mental health symptoms, relationship drama, past trauma, bad habits, or another challenge that you need support to work through. It's easy to sign up. Just go to Talkspace.com and you'll be paired with a provider, typically within 48 hours. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule. Plus, Talkspace is in-network with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. Make your mental health a priority and start today. If you're not covered by insurance, get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80. That's SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
In a world of economic uncertainty and workplace transformation, learn to lead by example from visionary C-suite executives like Shannon Schuyler of PwC and Will Pearson of iHeartMedia.
The good teacher explains, the great teacher inspires.
Don't always leave your team to do the work. That's been the most important part of how to lead by example.
Listen to Leading by Example, Executives Making an Impact on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We love learning about this extraordinary universe.
And we love sharing what we've learned.
And on our podcast, Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe, that's what we're going to do.
I'm Daniel. I'm a particle physicist, and I think our universe is absolutely extraordinary.
I'm Kelly Wienersmith. I study parasites, and there's just endless things about this universe that I find fascinating.
Basically, we're both nerds.
Each Tuesday and Thursday, we take an hour-long dive into some science topic.
Learn all about our amazing and beautiful universe on Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe every Tuesday and Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Deinfluencing Memorial Day sales.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And today we are doing something a little unique. We are going to explore some of the videos you might be seeing on social media and giving you an overall picture of what it's trying to do to you psychologically to get you to spend money on Memorial Day and why you don't need to.
We talk about marketing tactics and we talk about social influence and some of the reasons that we end up impulse buying or spending unnecessarily. But today, we're really doing it on giving some examples.
Actual examples.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, but what does that actually look like? Whoa, here it is. And no holds barred here.
Yeah.
And we might be opening up something that we can't close because now we're really into de-influencing all of these things because what we're about to talk about is pretty wild. But first, this episode is brought to you by interest. Like being interested in how to make my money become more money. The answer? Interest. And this can happen for you when you put your money into a high-yield savings account like the one at CIT. You can get started with as little as $100, and then you can watch that money grow month over month. More money just gets deposited into your account because of interest. Get interested. frugalfriendspodcast.com/CIT.
Yeah, and it is a safe place for your sinking and emergency funds.
Yeah. So it is where I keep my emergency fund. And it's so fun every month to go in and see like, how much money did I make by
or how
just
much
sitting around?
How much did my high yield savings account protect me from inflation?
Ooh.
That's really what it is. It's not meaningful income, but it is meaningful security.
No, but I mean, if you've got your emergency fund in there, it's not insignificant.
Absolutely not. No.
It shouldn't be an alternative to investing, but it is a great place to keep money that you do need to have access to eventually.
Yes. But let's not bury the lead. Let's get into what we're really doing today. And that is talking about Memorial Day sales and Memorial Day things that you probably don't need to buy, but you are going to see a lot of on social media for the next week. So we are going to go into some of the heavy hitters, and we're going to tell you why we're doing this episode with a few stats. The first one being 57% of U.S. consumers plan to celebrate Memorial Day weekend in 2024. So not everyone, but over half of you.
Yeah, that's a significant amount. And among those who are planning to celebrate, 95% intend to make purchases. This is primarily going to be on food and alcohol. And 23% expected to spend more than they did the previous year. They're looking at this year saying, you know what? More. I'm going to spend more money on more things.
Which is crazy in this economy.
Yeah.
But I think what it might come down to is that the state of the world is really chaotic right now. And so to have these small things that can maybe be an escape is what's driving more of this stuff. So it's not going to be lavish like our Christmas or our Halloween, but it can be a small scale escape. And we're not against escapism, but we need to do it in a healthy way and one that is not going to make you regret looking back at your credit card or your bank account in several weeks.
Did those two things go together? I don't. You know what? We're not gonna sit here long enough to find out.
Social worker.
So the top planned purchases are food. So 83% of this spending is on food, 44% on alcoholic beverages, 33% on non-alcoholic beverages, 17% on decorations. So these are the things we plan to spend on. It just sounds like we want to have a good time and we want to eat good food. And to that end, also restaurants experience an increase in visits, up 41.9% compared to an average Monday. So that's a 7.1% increase compared to Memorial Day of the previous year. So we're prioritizing food and parties and getting together. And so there's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot of things that we will end up spending on.
But we're not forgetting the sales either. So it's not just the parties, it's also all the bombardment with discounts and sales and coupons. Walmart dominates the online Memorial Day space. In 2024, they captured approximately 62% of the online market share, marking an 11% year-over-year increase. And so the numbers themselves shouldn't mean a lot to you, but the year-over-year increase numbers, those should mean a lot because when they outpace inflation, that doesn't just mean, that means we're not just buying the same things and we're spending more for them. It means that we're buying more things. And that is what we're seeing. And we're not sure what we'll see this year, but I think it is important to know we'll see the same marketing that we saw last year. We'll see the same push to spend. Even for travel, gas stations experienced their busiest day of the year on Friday, May 24th, 2024, which is the Friday of Memorial Day. It's foot traffic up 32.3% compared to an average day. So even if you're just taking a short little staycation or a short road trip and you're not going to be spending a ton, we still need to identify some of these, the marketing that influencers will do, how it targets the psychology of how you are influenced to buy. And we're going to talk about some social media videos. We're not going to play the ones that have copyrighted music. Eventually, we'll start recording the video of these so you'll be able to see, but we will link to all the videos. We will play the ones that don't have copyrighted music, but we will talk about not the influencer themselves, but they are just one example of the sea of sameness that you'll get across the internet.
And we want to be able to look at what is happening with each of these so that we all can be really equipped as we're scrolling and we're seeing these things to be able to easily identify what's happening here and make informed decisions rather than kind of knee-jerk reactions, spending or thinking that something is expected of us that is just really absurd. So the top 3 categories that we're seeing influencers push when it comes to Memorial Day is outfits, parties, and decor. So we're going to look at each of those categories, starting with outfits. We found this video. It's an example video about kind of how we should be dressing and the things that we should be buying. So we're going to play a clip of that for you all.
The red 2-piece set. It's really easy to add blue jewelry to the outfit. And you can also never go wrong with a denim vest or go for the super trendy oversized blue denim jacket or really any denim. You can never go wrong with a cutie little blue romper, good pair of denim shortals. This is just the top half of that red 2-piece set. Or you can take this top half of the red 2-piece set, style it with jeans or some good denim shorts.
First of all, what are shortals? You're watching the video and I'm just listening to it, so I'm not seeing. But like, I read the caption and I loved that she was just pulling out things from her quote unquote closet. And in reality, I don't know if that's true because the caption says all of these things can be available via Amazon Prime by Friday.
Well, I think some of the stuff is from her closet, but she shows a lot of different outfits. You can't totally tell it from the audio, but there's a lot that she's, when she's like, try a graphic tee or a print or it's like fast to those images.
Yeah. So that you have to go to the link in her bio to her LTK and see them slowly. But what a lot of influencers like this will do is they'll order all this stuff from whatever store, Amazon, Target, and they'll return most of it. But they just want to show it all to you so that you'll buy 1 or 2 pieces using their link. So like very often it's not from their closet, especially if they're saying it's all available by Friday on Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. The things in my closet, some of those are like 5 years old. You can't get that anymore. It's not available by Friday anymore.
Right. Yeah. And while I like opportunities to learn, okay, how can I put together new outfits? I think recognizing that the key here is to get you to buy and not just that, get you to think that you have to have a certain outfit for kind of every occasion. Mm-hmm. And even just that mindset, even if you don't click on her Amazon link, but to be embedded and steeped in this type of thinking that, oh, I've got to have something special.
Everybody
I've got to look the part.
Yeah.
I've got to have the uniform is not helpful long-term mindset about our wardrobe. Like what you have is fine for a Memorial Day party.
Yeah, she was saying so much blue stuff. She did give tips that would encourage you to just shop your closet.
Right.
So like I did like that about this one. It wasn't an overt, like, here's everything I got on Amazon, for Memorial Day or 4th of July. But it was a subtle, like, oh, if you don't have all this stuff in your closet like I clearly have in mine, then you can buy it. You can be like me and have more of the stuff in your closet. Just use the link that I've provided.
Along with clothing, in case we haven't convinced you yet that everyone's going to get you to try and buy clothing on Amazon, here's another example. We don't have the audio for it, so I will just describe it. It is a woman who is showing you 2 different types of sweaters that you can get for Memorial Day that has an American flag on it, the types of shorts you can put with it, even shoes. So literally everything she's wearing, she has a link for showing it off, a white sweater with the American flag, a kind of neon green, yellow sweater with the American flag, and then everything else that she's wearing with the link that you can get at a TikTok shop.
TikTok shop. I'll link it all below. But I have to say, the neon yellow sweater is so bad. It is a bad looking sweater.
You can tell that the sweaters are not quality. You are just buying the sweater almost as a one-time use. She got 2 of them, now making it seem like she bought both and it's worth it to have multiples of the same thing. No, don't be fooled. She was given both, right?
Or she plans to return one.
Right.
Hopefully the yellow one.
And let's also not skip over the fact that none of us, really, regardless of whatever climate we're in, need a sweater in the summertime.
I will say, unless you are in Canada, you probably aren't looking for a sweater.
And certainly not with an American flag on it.
Exactly. If you're in Canada, you probably are not going to be shopping for an American flag sweater.
And you're probably not celebrating Memorial Day.
Nope.
So.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So the fact that it is a sweater as well, and I can imagine the mesh, was she looking at her shoes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mesh on the
shoes never lasts very long. I didn't see if they looked quality, but if they were from TikTok shop, it's probably like a drop ship operation.
So here's what's going on here. I mean, there's a lot that's going on here, but particularly with these 2, we've got some tradition and just normative behavior. So making it seem like everyone shops Memorial Day sales. Everyone wears themed Americana clothing for Memorial Day. So it's kind of this mass advertising that is utilizing social proof, where you're going to see all over the place tons of people trying to get you to buy from their stores that this is what we do, kind of hanging on to the coattails of a cultural momentum that is happening as we all kind of celebrate this current thing and utilizing that for marketing.
Yeah.
It is for marketing. This message is brought to you by Apple Card.
Whoa, I just found out you can earn up to 3% daily cash back on everyday purchases made with Apple Card.
Yeah, you can earn unlimited daily cash back with Apple Card on every purchase. No matter where you check out with Apple Pay, you always get daily cash.
The possibilities are endless.
What's better is that daily cash can automatically grow when you open a high-yield savings account through Apple Card.
That's like endless. +1.
Visit apple.co/card calculator today and discover just how much daily cash you can earn.
Subject to credit approval, savings available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility. Savings in Apple Card by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Trust isn't just earned, it's demanded. Whether you're a startup founder navigating your first audit or a seasoned security professional scaling your GRC program, proving your commitment to security has never been more critical or more complex. That's where Vanta comes in. Businesses use Vanta to establish trust by automating compliance needs over 35 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. Centralize security workflows, complete questionnaires up to 5 times faster, and proactively manage vendor risk. Vanta can help you start or scale your security program by connecting you with auditors and experts to conduct your audit and set up your security program quickly. Plus, with automation and AI throughout the platform, Vanta gives you time back so you can focus on building your company. Join over 9,000 global companies like Atlassian, Quora, and Factory who use Vanta to manage risk and prove security in real time. For a limited time, our audience gets $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/special. That's VANTA.com/special for $1,000 off.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Call 844-844-iHeart to get started. That's 844-844-iHeart.
All right, let's look at parties. And so this is where obviously food and drink is the most purchased. This is where most of the money is going to these parties. And we just believe social media is giving an unrealistic standard for what your for A, that you need to throw a Memorial Day party, and B, what that party should look like.
All right, so let's listen to this little example of party prep.
Let's get ready to host a party for Memorial Day. On Friday, I did all of my grocery shopping, so I brought everything home and put it away and made some cute little flower arrangements just to set out. I just threw some blue and white hydrangeas in a vase and tucked some American flags in there. I think it looks really cute and really festive. Now, we just got a new griddle for outside, so on Saturday morning, I had to get that all completely seasoned and ready to go to cook on Sunday. Let me know if y'all want a video about that, because I'm happy to share all the details. Saturday night, my sister Caroline and I just kind of hung out in the kitchen, prepped a whole bunch of stuff for the party, and we have been obsessed with Dance Moms lately.
Okay, so we had to leave the Dance Moms part in because Helen Keller, fourth place. I don't even remember.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know if they should have gotten a place for that one. But the ultimate is just the amount of prep. So like this creator, their job is to create social media content around party planning. So I looked, and this was for Memorial Day last year. Obviously, they haven't thrown their Memorial Day party this year. They got 7 videos out of this party. So this was a good thing for them to do to create all of this, this extravagant party, because they literally he did a burger video and a grill video and making a ranch dip video, different videos of all of these things, and creating this content. He gets paid for it, he gets more followers, and therefore he can charge more for brand deals. But we are not professional party planners, and I feel like it just holds us to this unrealistic standard. This is a multiple day party prep.
Yeah. And I really shouldn't have watched this video hungry. Honestly, it all does look so yummy. And I'd love to find myself at that party, but he
invited us.
He didn't have to do so much. Like, he made his own ice cream sandwiches, and maybe that's his joy.
That was another video though.
He loves to do that.
Yeah.
But also what stood out to me is that for this, he got a new griddle. I mean, he just mentions that in passing, references how there's going to be another video.
Affiliate link for the griddle.
And that is going to be an affiliate link for the griddle. And it just kind of like, for me, even watching this, it kind of instills, okay, this is the level of party prep. If I'm going to throw a party, these are the types of things I should be doing if I want them to be a certain way and I want my guests to enjoy it. And
this is the new standard.
It starts,
and that's the problem.
It can create, that anchoring bias for us. If we see enough content like this, that this is what we need to be doing, even though we're not content creators, we're not professional party planners, we're not hosting elaborate gatherings constantly, but then it could lead us to swing the other direction of, okay, well then I'm just not going to do it because it's not going to look like this.
I'm not going to invite people over. I'm not going to be in community because I can't throw a party like this. Yeah, that is the extreme we don't want to go to.
Mm-hmm. Here's another party example.
You're hosting a 4th of July party. Y'all, this is so good, and everything will be linked to my Amazon storefront. I love these red and white striped runners. I did 2 of them, and then I added my floral arrangements, a large cutting board because we did a mini slider bar of chicken and burgers. And then I love these little white risers. I adds dimension to your food and overall appearance of the look. And then in those star-shaped cardboard boxes, I did snacky items like chips and things like that. The blue and white gingham print is so good. And then I add little bows to the acrylic glasses. All the small details is key for hosting parties.
Yeah, for me, it's the risers. They are white boxes that they're putting plates of food on. And for me, it seems like an unnecessary expensive. It looks great.
Yeah, it is
right?
beautiful.
It's another one that's beautiful. And again, she makes her money when you go to her Amazon storefront and buy the things she's talking about.
Yeah.
But again, and I feel like this is what I see the most of, like in my feed, is parties like this.
For me, it's the waste. There is so much single-use plastics, from the containers to she had individual salad dressing bottles that went to every individual salad.
Well, now wait, depending on how often you go to Cracker Barrel, you could reuse those maple syrup bottles from Cracker Barrel.
I don't think that they actually let you take those anymore. I think that's like,
they don't let you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is not what she's doing here.
She does not go to Cracker Barrel that often.
And then putting little ribbons on every single Coke bottle. And then just some of the time. I mean, certainly putting every little watermelon into star shapes. That's fine. Spend your time how you want to spend your time. But it's interesting to me because I watch these videos and I think, well, but it's not leading us to do this much.
Right.
And our listeners are probably going to say the same. I'm not doing this at my parties. And yet it still is the content we're consuming. So it still is necessary for us to push back a little bit, not on this singular individual, but on these types of concepts and the type of content that we are consuming, and to be really aware of how is this actually affecting me? Because we can't watch video after video of that and it not affect us.
Yeah.
Even from just how fast paced. I mean, she sped up her audio. So you're already on the edge of your seat. You've got this sense of urgency. There's this call to action. There's this expectation that's happening. That there are subconscious things that go on when we are watching these types of videos to an extent that we may not even realize. Yeah, I might not do all 20 of the things she's doing in that video, but down the road, as this leaks into my mindset, at what point am I going to find myself doing one of those things?
Absolutely.
5 of those things, thinking that this is the standard.
Mm-hmm. And how does it feel to be somebody going to a party like this and then feeling inferior because this is not something I'm going to do, or feeling bad, like, I feel like I'm taking advantage of this person because I'm never going to be able to or want to provide this experience back to them. It can be also isolating, even if it isn't in your social media feed. You might experience it.
Or even just anxiety about, I'd never be able to afford to do that. This woman must be rich. And maybe she is, but maybe she's not, because this is her business.
Mm-hmm.
So she is getting paid to do these things and trying to sell to us this idea of a lifestyle that we are not getting paid to do, to film, to put out into the world. So
Yeah.
I think it's also worth looking at how it's affecting our well-being. Even if we don't throw a party like this or spend money on any of these things, what is it doing to us emotionally to be watching this type of thing?
Yeah. And I think what's going on here is FOMO. So I think these people want you to see the parties and be like, oh, I should be throwing a party. This is what people do, right? So it's kind of like that bandwagon or tradition normative behavior as well as FOMO. So we are maybe missing out if we don't throw a party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it made me like, I want a friend like that. I want to go to that party.
Mm-hmm.
Even just that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing if I'm not going to a party or throwing one?
Yeah.
It makes, like, socially, I think there's such a big social component too, because we all want to connect to each other. But how are we going to connect? Are we going to connect authentically, or just show people we're better than them by cutting all of our watermelon into stars?
And those parties kind of touched a little bit on this next category, but we're going to now take a little deep dive on some of the decor that can happen around Memorial Day and some of the expectations there. So both of these videos, we will link them, but they are music only. There's no words. So we're just going to talk about them. This first video is a Memorial Day tree. So it is exactly as it sounds, a Christmas tree that is decorated Memorial Day themed. So flags, red, white, and blue, ribbon, like posters. It doesn't look good.
Can you play it and we can unmute and we'll just like walk through it? Because this is when this whole creator, all she does is wreaths and trees for every single.
So there's like wooden hearts that have the American tree painted onto them.
Every military branch's flag. And big balls.
Big ornaments, red and blue, goblets.
Red, white, and blue. Stars.
Baubles.
You cannot see tree anymore. Oh, there's a sunflower that's red, white, and blue. With the blue and white stars in the center and then red and white striped sunflower petals.
The thing that stands out to me on this one is it doesn't look good.
No, it's like the neon yellow flag sweater. It don't look good.
It's like those like Pinterest fails, like, nailed it.
Yeah.
Kind of. And that's not to say that she doesn't have an eye for things. It's just that there isn't a way to make a Memorial Day Christmas tree look good.
Here's what I think is happening. She makes all of her money obviously around Christmas, but she has to create content through the rest of the year. And I think a lot of these holiday trees and wreaths and stuff, wreaths probably she does do well seasonally, but I think it might just be rage bait of like, why are you keeping your tree up all year? Mm-hmm. But also these are decor things that don't just have to be used on a tree. She's highlighting decor that you can get on Amazon, you can use anywhere, and she's just using the tree as the backdrop.
The hope is that you will just buy one of these 20 items. And if you do that, she's won.
It's really key. Like she heavily plays into like every branch of the military being like represented on the tree.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got one more example of a tablescape that somebody does, because obviously you've got to make your table look exactly on theme. You can't just have a plain table.
4 plates.
4 plates, yeah.
And 4 utensils. The cups and the napkins
are all
hydrangeas.
American color, like red, white, and blue. So the types of cups that you're not going to utilize throughout the rest of the year. Like a lot of this stuff is specific for, I guess, Memorial Day and maybe
American
4th of
flags
July.
on the plates.
Like you could use it twice in the year, but otherwise.
Yes. Unless you live in DC and your life is America themed, that's probably only going to be the 2 times a year you'll use it. But like that is, and the thing that gets me about tablescapes is that they're typically not used. Unlike a party where you're putting out plates, those are definitely going to get used. Your formal dining room, the decor in there, most likely not getting used. Because when do you ever have like a Memorial Day like family dinner? Like it's much more synonymous with party, whereas like Thanksgiving and Christmas, you use the formal dining room. So she probably isn't using this stuff. It is just for show.
Yeah.
And people rarely go into the formal dining room. So it's probably not going to get seen.
She may not have had anybody over in order to create this video. Honest to goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I laugh, but like, yeah, that's
who's having
for
a party
sure
that is seating the exact number of seats that you have at your table, no more, no less. And
you got to keep that
and
invite
they're
list
all
small.
coming for a sit down for Memorial Day.
Right. You just don't do that for Memorial Day.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things going on here if we wanted to dig deeper into some of the marketing tactics. There is some patriotic and emotional appeal happening. So utilizing the American flags, red, white, and blue color schemes, military appreciation, either language or shown. And a lot of just commercials, advertising will do this using messaging of gratitude for veterans, honoring service member themes, linking patriotism with consumer spending.
The music is patriotic.
Yeah.
And we couldn't play it, but like it's America the Beautiful. It is this, really reverent music set to creating a beautiful, throw pillows and American flag plates.
Yeah. Not that those things can't be a part of one's experience, but it is being preyed upon really in order to buy.
Right. If I want to show my respect for veterans, then I should celebrate this day to the fullest.
And across all of these examples, we've got scarcity and urgency happening where limited time offers, this weekend only, ends Monday night. And so this kind of fear of missing out, the fear of losing out on the deal, the desire to kind of fit in, this idea that everybody else is doing this, and just buying all of the unnecessary stuff because it's we're being bombarded with it. I mean, if we're scrolling, then we are seeing this message over and over and over again. And our willpowers are only going to go so far. And our understanding of reality and how most people live is only going to be so intact the more that we steep ourselves in this type of content. And so I think, what do we do as a result of this? I think in part being aware of like utilizing some of this language, like those questions of, okay, what's really going on here? Asking yourself that as you're scrolling, start to become kind of the person on the other side, almost an observer of what's the marketing tactic at play here.
Yeah, what's going on behind the scenes?
Is this really reality, or is this somebody who is running a business, trying to make money? And curating our feeds.
Curating an experience, for sure.
Not only, I think we can all do well in just decreasing the amount of time we spend on social media, but also when we are there, that we have curated and created our feeds to be beneficial to us, that it's the type of content we want to see. Because while there are so many creators like this who are pushing overconsumption and purchasing off of Prime and living a certain lifestyle that's unattainable and unsustainable, there are also creators creating content about how to shop your own closet, how to throw a great party without worrying about your place looking perfect, how to prep single ingredient or low ingredient things and throw a potluck and have other people over. Like those accounts also exist. So finding those, following those, watching those,
engaging, like watch the full video, because your algorithm, your feed is no longer just based on people you follow. It is based on where you are spending time and engaging. So if there's something you want to see more of, you have to like it, you have to comment, and you have to watch that. Because there's really no way, if you don't like something and you watch it because you hate watching it, the algorithm don't know that. So if you're watching something because you do like it, you have to be more intentional if you want to keep it in your feed.
Do you know what I'm intentional about keeping in my podcast?
And we play this every week, and it never leads us astray.
The Bill of the Week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck Bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the Bill of the Week.
Hi, Jen and Jill. It's Em in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm calling with my Bill of the Week. This week, my bill is my credit card bill. and we put all of our normal purchases on our credit card for points. And this week, it's really high from last month because we had some unexpected medical bills in our family. My daughter has some ongoing health problems. I was sick for most of December, and we just had some unexpected bills. So my credit card bill is really high, and I had to dip into savings, and I was really bummed. But then I realized that I have been putting money into savings into my emergency fund all year. And this time last year, I switched jobs so that I would be paid more. And I realized that it kind of stinks to have a high bill that you have to pay and to dip into savings. But if I had not followed you all's advice and been saving aggressively and switched jobs to make more money, then I would have been in a whole heap of trouble. So I just so appreciate you all and what you do for your community. Thanks.
That's so great, Em. I'm so glad you shared that with us.
This is so encouraging that these really difficult things still happen, that being frugal didn't save you from emergencies and high medical bills. However, it did create a lot more cushion and peace throughout that experience, some stability, that you still had to dip into savings. However, your sights have been on earning more, saving aggressively, which allows you to be able to navigate this without finding yourself deep into trouble and overwhelm. And that is just, if that's not the goal, I don't know what is. Congratulations, Em. We're so thrilled for you. We hope that the worst of all of that chaos is behind you, and that you're able to keep that credit card bill low. And congrats on getting a job that pays you more. That's a huge part of this whole journey. So
that's being frugal with your time. Doing the same amount of work for more money.
I like that. If you all listening have a bill you want to submit, if it has to do with a high bill, a low bill, a no bill, or you are bill,
a no bill man,
frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. Leave it for us. We cannot wait for it. Looking to save even more money on your phone bill? How does free sound? Helium Mobile is offering the first free phone plan. That's right, free phone service. Seriously, no bill, no contract, just free.
It's not just some limited time deal. You get nationwide 5G coverage with 3 gigabytes of data, 300 texts, and 100 minutes of calls. If you need more data, you can upgrade to their other plans. Plus, you're supporting a community-built network that's growing every day to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you go.
When we first heard about Helium Mobile, we couldn't wait to share it with all our frugal listeners who are looking to budget smarter when it comes to everyday necessities without sacrificing quality.
So if you're in the market to cut that monthly phone bill, like really cut it, Helium Mobile is where it's at. Download the Helium Mobile app today and use the code FRUGAL to get your free plan today.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next 2 combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Amy Robach and TJ Holmes here. Diddy's former protege, television personality, platinum-selling artist, Danity Kane alum, Aubrey O'Day joins us to provide a unique perspective on the trial that has captivated the attention of the nation.
Aubrey O'Day is sitting next to us here. You are, as we sit here, right up the street from where the trial is taking place. Some people saw that you were going to be in New York, and they immediately started jumping to conclusions. So can you clear that up? First of all, are you here to testify in the Diddy trial? Aubrey will offer her opinions and expertise based on her first-hand knowledge from her days on Making the Band as she emerged as the breakout star. The truth of the situation would be opposite of the glitz and glamour.
It wasn't all bad, but I don't know that any of the good was real. I went through things there.
Listen to Amy and TJ Presents Aubrey O'Day, covering the Diddy trial on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, we want to tell you about our podcast.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a particle physicist, and I think our universe is absolutely extraordinary.
Hello, I'm Kelly Weinersmith. I study parasites along with nature's other creepy crawlies, and there's just endless things about this universe that I find fascinating.
All right, well, basically, we're both nerds. We love learning about this extraordinary universe, and we love sharing what we've learned. So that's what we're going to do.
And on our podcast, Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe is all about the mind-blowing discoveries we've made about this crazy, beautiful cosmos.
From the tiniest particles to the biggest blue whales.
Each Tuesday and Thursday, we take an hour-long dive into some science topic, during which time I try to suppress my biologist training and keep the poop jokes to a minimum.
Learn all about our amazing and beautiful universe on Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe every Tuesday and Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now it's time for the lightning round.
Pew, pew. All right, what is your biggest sales tactic ick? And I think we will have similar ones. I think mine's slightly different. Mine is fear-based marketing. It is the worst. And usually just like bros on YouTube will do it, but car dealerships will use this. There was a man yelling at me about avoiding the car price increase from tariffs. I have to act fast because car prices are increasing because of tariffs. Avoid it by now. Just yelling at me. And I was like, hush. Just stop.
Hush.
Well, that's not what I said in reality, but that's what I'm saying now. Just stop. That is the biggest ick. I would never go to that dealership just because of that ad.
Mine is the emotional appeal. I can't stand it. I have a visceral reaction where brands try to sell you a lifestyle and an idea of kind of transcending your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cheap to me.
So gross.
And exploitive, it feels in a lot of ways too. Like, here's something to get you to cry. This man is coming home from serving overseas on military duty, and he's coming home and surprising his child, and buy this car. Like, no, your car does not create family values.
You'll find
it's
this
a car. I am getting this. My blood is boiling right now as I think about it.
Oh, wow.
No, a car is not going to make you get up to go see the sunrise and like become a better person who finds themselves on top of a mountain. A car is going to get you to and from work, hopefully.
Yeah. It's going to get you to and from Chipotle.
Yeah.
All right? You're not going to watch the sunrise. You're
Sell
getting
me a
Chipotle on the
product.
way home
I
from the
think
grocery
that
store.
It is enough to say, here's something that might make your life more efficient, or here's something you are already looking for. Here's reasons to buy this particular one. I think it feels like it's treating us like we're dumb, and I hate that. It feels manipulative, exploitive, cheap. Like, people are going to buy cars. Tell them why they should buy this car. Don't take them on an emotional journey where they're crying by the end of it and then being like, now give us your money. It's not even just an ick. It ticks me off.
So car brands and car dealerships.
Yeah, right. It's not just
ickiest.
cars who do it, but like they are the easiest to point to. They are good examples. Plenty of other brands do this.
Yes.
Clothing brands in the ways that they take their pictures and market you on social media. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening. Let us know if you liked this format, if we should put it on YouTube and show some videos. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video for this episode, or leave us a comment on the episode on Spotify. Let us know what you liked. And if you want more from us, then our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, is available now, buywhatyolovebook.com. People tend to like it. Like this guy, Eric, left it a 5-star review. Everything I've ever wanted in a personal finance book. This book is so relatable and helpful, from all the examples, stories given, to the action steps and journal prompts at the end of each chapter. The authors not only help me understand the psychology behind spending, but how to make better spending decisions. I feel so much more confident about my money and equipped to reach my longer-term financial goals. For anyone looking to curb impulse spending, pay down debt, or just experience more freedom with their money without all the strict budgeting, this book is for you.
Wow. I mean, it's probably just coincidence that my husband's name is Eric. He did read the book, but like I guarantee you he did not leave this review.
Oh, and you didn't leave it for us on his account?
I'm not entirely sure that that's not true.
Because I left a review.
For Travis?
For our book.
Yeah. But did you put Travis's name down?
No, you know whose name I put?
Whose?
I just picked a random name. It's Teresa.
Oh, wow.
So if you see a Teresa
review, don't trust it.
Trust it.
It could be an inside job.
I just want to be transparent that I reviewed my own book.
I did too. And I don't know if we just read it or not. I do like the use of slashes, and there is a slash in this one. Who knows? I was on a rampage and I can't remember what I did. I might have wrote this one. Eric might not exist. It might be me.
Please help us by leaving your own review for the book on Amazon.
Bury our own reviews of our own book by getting yours up at the top.
It's only 2 of like 160. So we're not the only 2 reviews. There are over 150.
Assuming we didn't create 160 separate Amazon accounts.
We did not do that. I can assure you we do not have time for that.
Oh, wow. Well, if you're still with us, thanks for listening. Thanks for reading our book. If you liked either one of them, please do leave us a review. It helps us. It helps other people. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni.
All right, Jill, let's talk about exploitation.
Okay, yeah.
Because you use the word, we talked about this a few days ago. You used the word exploitive.
Mm-hmm. And you were quick to correct me with, what's your version?
Exploitative.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, could they both be right?
I mean, we didn't jump to that. It was definitely, you thought you were right. I thought I was right.
Right.
And then as I Googled it to realize we both right.
We were both right.
They
are
fine.
The same. You can use both. And it just was very indicative of our personalities. I add an extra syllable because why not add something extra if you can? If you can make it more complicated, why not?
I'm less is more and you are more is more.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both right, and we're both expressing our ideas and opinions, but in different ways. Just like the book.
BuyWhatYouLoveBook.com. The same thing in different ways. So on brand.
Yeah, well, glad we have that settled. And you know what? Both of us love being right. So we neither one of us had to walk away.
I know, right?
Being wrong.
That was the best takeaway.
In a world of economic uncertainty and workplace transformation, learn to lead by example from visionary C-suite executives like Shannon Schuyler of PwC and Will Pearson of iHeartMedia.
The good teacher explains. The great teacher inspires.
Don't always leave your team to do the work. That's been the most important part of how to lead by example.
Listen to Leading by Example, Executives Making an Impact on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We love learning about this extraordinary universe.
And we love sharing what we've learned.
And on our podcast, Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe, that's what we're going to do.
I'm Daniel. I'm a particle physicist, and I think our universe is absolutely extraordinary.
I'm Kelly Wienersmith. I study parasites, and there's just endless things about this universe that I find fascinating.
Basically, we're both nerds.
Each Tuesday and Thursday, we take an hour-long dive into some science topic.
Learn all about our amazing and beautiful universe on Daniel and Kelly's Extraordinary Universe. Universe every Tuesday and Thursday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Sam Mullins, and I've got a new podcast coming out called Go Boy, the gritty true story of how one man fought his way out of some of the darkest places imaginable.
Roger Caron was 16 when first convicted.
Has spent 24 of those years in jail.
But when Roger Caron picked up a pen and paper, he went from an ex-con to a literary darling. From Campside Media and iHeart Podcasts, listen to Go Boy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dime a ver, I'm La Gata, the culture's favorite reggaeton historian, musicóloga, public scholar, and recording artist. Yes, that means I've done the work. On my show, the Reggaeton con La Gata podcast, I'm not only talking to Flor Menor, who has the #1 reggaeton track in the world right now, I'm also going to be on Perreo to speak with music innovators like Right Now, who is known for her media rockera tracks and collaborating with artists like Bad Bunny. We're also giving you the culture breakdown straight from the source. Listen to Reggaeton con La Gata on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to an iHeart podcast.